Hakuho.
I think a lot of the memers also looking for a Thresh ban. A little bit of a throwback to Apollo and Hakuho last spring. I'll be surprised if there's not even a hover in this game.
Yeah.
Or some sort of call out, but not going to be that because Morgana has been buffed up so heavily. She's much more powerful in the bottom lane, and Hakuho plays the champion
Pick number 80! Or is it 70? I forget what the number was. But either way, braum remains the most picked playoff champion in North America. Blocked right away. Sadly, no Thresh hovers. Gotta call out the sweet purple jerseys, by the way, for Echo Fox. I haven't seen those before. Those look kind of nice.
I do always like when the teams bring a little bit of extra style to playoffs, to international events.
Yeah.
Definitely like to see the style, and congratulations to the crowd. Knew the answer to that chat stats question. Braum right off the top.
Smarter than the analysts. The bot lane matchup going to be Galio into braum here, as it's locked in right now for Smoothie in that bottom lane. Broken Blade takes away the Jarvan very quickly. There it is! Good call out. Rush is smiling. I love it.
They stole Rush's Jarvan, which he was big for his last 4 games. So he's going to give him a little jab back. And it looks like Kidnred might be the answer here. Now, Kidnred is pretty good into Jarvan because you can dodge the EQ fairly effectively as long as the Jarvan doesn't have a brush that he's coming out of, Fog of War surprise. So I do kind of like that matchup.
And looks like an early hover onto Aatrox as well. So a lot of early aggression is possible here. Aatrox generally a reasonably good blind pick top laner overall, but has a pretty good number of positive matchups. So looking frontline for the squad, he's got braum alongside. So they can team fight with this. They can side lane pretty well also, but they've got already the makings of a backline because of that Kidnred. So let's see what TSM wants to do before the second round of bans comes in.
Yeah, already looking like a pretty decent team fight setup for Echo Fox with a couple of the delays there. Aatrox revive, Kidnred ultimate going down. But talking about revives, we got the main revive character of the game. Zilean picked up for Bjergsen, one of the OG Zilean players.
Yeah, and even though you gotta think of Jensen a lot as a big Zilean player, this is now his second most played champion of the split. Game number 3 on Zilean now for Bjergsen, and of course they're basically all wins because that's what TSM did this split. As no Echo Fox has to ban away some top laners to make sure that Solo's matchup feels pretty good. Jace off the table. One more to push away. You remember hearing Hai earlier in the countdown saying he actually gives Solo the edge in the top lane matchup. Thinks he's been a stronger performer this split, and I think Solo is a very good top laner. It'll be fun to watch those two fight out.
Yeah, we'll have to see if TSM want to put him to the test, because TSM have very consistently put Broken Blade on a split push champion and opted for those 1v1s. So that theory will get tested out in this series, to the extremes. Jace being banned out along with Hecarim for the top lane, as top lane Hecarim has gained a lot of popularity and does not have very many poor matchups.
Yeah, especially is good into Aatrox specifically. We saw Licorice bring that one out last year at Worlds, so smart of Echo Fox to ban that away. Though, of course, you've never seen Broken Blade play it on stage. You know it should be a possibility. Zven goes back to his most played champion, his 7th Ezreal game of the split, more than double any other champion. And there are lots of other bot laners that most teams would rather play, but Zven still on comfort.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting here because even though during his time in North America, people have been memeing on him for playing so much Ezreal, I really liked one of his other most played champions along with Galio is Kalista. That combination is insane to me. Ezreal definitely going to take a little bit longer to have a similar impact here, and TSM are going to be a little bit safer with that pick.
And of course, we are on 9.6, so double tier will not be the build for the Ezreal, but seems just fine with Luden's Echo or Ruin King third, and it's not a problem. Echo Fox got to round out their lineup. Varus will come through for Apollo, one of his most played champions. We've got a lot of long range here. Zoe Varus, definitely a strong combo.
Yep, last 2 picks here for Echo Fox showing hard poke composition with Zoe and what will probably be a lethality Varus here for our Apollo. He can definitely go both ways. The on-hit build still extremely effective.
Thresh hover on the other side. Don't think it's going to be the actual pick there. No, Jax coming into the top lane for Broken Blade. Jax Aatrox top lane matchup. We'll see if Akaadian can turn that one around.
Oh man, there is definitely a lot of late game power in that split push. Solo's got a smile on his face. He was expecting something of the kind. And whenever you see a Jax, if you have early jungle pressure, like that is going to be so much of setting up this champion for later in the game because you get to Trinity Force and you just explode.
Yeah, jungle pressure going to be interesting here. Rush, I think, is always a very confident player. He's always going to feel very good about himself. This is Akaadian's very first LCS playoffs, and he's on TSM, a squad with expectations behind them, so eyes are on Akaadian if he can step up here.
And if you're saying specifically LCS playoffs, then this is also Broken Blade's first, even though he has made the playoffs multiple times in the TCL.
So we're onto this one now. Coaches shaking hands, and we're about to go into the best of 5 here. TSM missed finals both times last year. They're gonna hope to make it here, but first, they gotta get through Echo Fox. Solo got his Aatrox. You got some good jungle pressure out of Rush, the rest of the squad as well. This is the test. Echo Fox on a 4-game winning streak, including beating number 1 and 2. But TSM have only lost 1 game since back in week 3. They are the hottest team in North America. They are many teams' favorites, and we're ready to go into this game.
TSM have gone 11-1 since Akaadian created the meme about how swift their wrath will be. But Echo Fox did the one thing that TSM could not this split. They took down Cloud9 to start off their 4-game win streak heading into playoffs. Both teams very prepared for this extra pressure.
And even though people are saying TSM are the favored team, current form is what matters. Playoff jitters can be a real thing. We saw that a bit with Viper yesterday, though they still did come through with the win. This can be a very close matchup here. We've seen Fenix really step up before. He has been Bjergsen's equal at times, but we know the pedigree of these TSM players. Zven, Bjergsen, they've done so much with their careers. And now we'll see what the early game looks like. Zven hoping for some free Klepto gold. Not going to find it, but I like the attempt.
Yeah, always worth fishing around early game with Ezreal, especially if you have Ward protecting you on the top side. Pixel Brush. One champion to be afraid of is, of course, braum. Very good level 1, but nobody going to group up here, so no action.
No action just yet. We have a Doran shield actually for Apollo. So it looks like he's expecting to get very little health down there. He's playing for a very defensive opener. As the bot lane pull is going to come through. Easy leash on the red buff there, as Rush going to get that without a problem. A similar bot lane pull on the TSM side, and we'll see where their junglers go as time moves on. As Echo Fox comes into the 2-on-2. Klepto gold. And he guessed wrong, which Hakuho was going to move. He walked in a straight line, and that was too much for him.
We'll see if Rush guesses correctly. He's betting on the bottom side for his Kidnred first mark spawn right here for the Scuttles. Red into Krugs. Should be a quick clear here up past the bottom lane. No ward was put down by the TSM duo, by the way, to see if there is a possible early visit from a level 2 red buff Kidnred, but that is not going to be the case. And the mark has spawned on the top side. So we'll see if Akaadian can actually get there quick enough to steal it away, or if Rush just goes, straight Scuttle over to Scuttle and try and take that. Again, what we talked about here with Kidnred into Jarvan, especially early, if Jarvan does not have a big vision advantage, it's definitely super dangerous for the Jarvan.
Yeah, you look at that top side river, there's 2 wards put down at level 1 by the Echo Fox squad, and Jarvan's a bit low, probably can't fight for that Scuttle.
Yeah, they know that this Scuttle has been unharassed as well. So it should be easy for Rush to head over.
Ooh, wow.
If Jarvan does not have pushing lanes to help him for a possible all-in on the Kidnred, and it's very, very dangerous. Should be picked up pretty easily here. Both solo lanes, though, doing quite well for themselves. As you can see, Broken Blade on the Jax going aggressive early, pushing that lane in. But he's going to have some vision of Rush to know that he cannot further extend here. So Solo's got the minion wave in a very nice spot right in front of the turret, which might cause Broken Blade to drop some CS here due to caution.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch. You saw Rush try to keep that Scuttle out to the vision. Now going for the quick stun, a little bit of damage towards Solo, but able to kite back. Nice Q into backwards E, gets a knock up and gets out of range.
And you can see that was coordinated with his jungler. Some communication just on screen right there for you. Broken Blade calling Akaadian, hey, just pass by real quick so I can try and push this in. It doesn't get all the way in and fully reset though here. So Solo still has the wave in a very nice spot. And Broken Blade does have to worry. Kidnred can make very creative gank paths. You can Q over the back of Baron Pit, try and go all the way around. So there definitely still is a pathway to try and punish.
Yeah, that wave should push back towards Broken Blade, though. The next wave of reinforcements will land much sooner from the Echo Fox side, so shouldn't be much of an issue for the Jax. We'll see as that plays out, though.
He's going to have to wait a couple waves, though, and every 30 seconds that you wait there for that to happen, you know, very, very antsy.
Yeah, might have had to drop 3 melee minions in this, but now that push really is coming through. Akaadian, though, is on the bottom side, and Broken Blade will be back under his turret. This game very close in gold. A small lead right now for the Echo Fox squad to call that out. 6 in that mid lane and 6 over in the jungle as well is a pretty positive thing. And right now it's been an equal trade of resources on the bottom side as we move closer and closer to the Sight Stone. But Kidnred getting to farm early on and getting that first mark, definitely a positive on their side.
Meanwhile, everything calm on the bottom side there. Everybody just farming up. As far as the Klepto stacks there, Zven got 1 sly sack of gold that I saw. Every single one does count when trying to fund your first tier. Don't want to get your first back without a pretty big purchase. You can go all the way to tier plus Sheen if you are able to get a decent amount in lane. Yep. Teleport is available, and he hasn't been really harassed at all. Broken Blade trying to get everyone under the turret.
It's close. He's within 3 CS as the Aatrox walks back up and won't miss too much farm. Do want to point out, you mentioned the summoner spells in the bottom lane. It is TP for Zven, a cleanse for Apollo to deal with shenanigans outside of a Galio taunt or a double bomb out of the Zilean, but it means that lane control can be easier for the Ezreal side. Once again, Solo able to get that backwards dash with the Q knock-up to get out of the stun. He's able to play that matchup pretty well and holds pretty close here. First TP spent back into this mid lane here is Fenix, as Bjergsen did the same pretty recently. Zven taking some licks. And down goes more here once again. So this time will get stunned, but pulls Broken Blade back, and those trades going well. Second mark in for Rush.
That feels super good for Rush. Be able to have pushing bottom lane there to allow him to get that mark before the arrival of Jarvan or any sort of lane support here. Rush definitely set up to have a very strong game here on the Kidnred. Still level 4 for Akaadian's Jarvan, and they don't have any vision in on the dragon, so he actually calls Smoothie, as you can see on the mini-map there, to go ward together and make sure that there's going to be no sneak on the dragon early on here, because Ocean Drake will have a very, very big impact early on in the game.
Phoenix trading pretty well, not able to dodge the bomb though. It's going to blow up onto him, but getting some decent damage across into Bjergsen. That mid lane matchup still advantage towards Phoenix, and Rush feels like he can invade maybe. Looks towards these chickens. Can he find some CS? Level 5 on Akaadian now, and that's not going to be a trade. We saw the Blast Plant get popped, so that might mean a topside fight.
Ping's going down that way.
There's the first stun. Not going to find the second knockup, though, and it's going to be a little bit of damage out of Rush, but that dodge means almost nothing is dealt, and nice attempt, but no gain.
Yep, Broken Blade able to walk his way out of that one and continue farming along. The tension continuing to build here as playoffs, very, very important for both these teams. TSM trying to have a comeback year from last year, their worst year ever. In this one, they're on such a streak. Teleport goes back down for Zven, and he did get that big purchase. So we were talking about the Sheen plus the tier. That's probably the best feeling first TP usage for this lane.
Definitely is what you want. Checking in on Apollo's build. Meanwhile, it is Cutlass, so he is going for the standard on-hit build to attack front lines. There's not any gigantic tanks really in front of him. Galio, by being under level to support, won't gain that much health, and Jax doesn't quite build that path either, but still will have consistent damage, which might be needed against those Zilean revives. We'll see. Still a 400 gold lead for Echo Fox overall as the scaling continues on. And Phoenix heading down towards this side of the map, gets the oranges, and might look for a dive.
And again, as the scaling does continue here, and we look at how these two compositions are going to try and operate, the TSM composition, as usual, is going to want to spread the map. They want Broken Blade, as soon as he gets a Stream Force on the Jax, to be isolated, whereas Echo Fox want to group up and make use of their poke damage there with the Zoe and the Varus. Right now,
no contest.
Rush pretty easily soloing the Ocean Drake, as we said, because as soon as they even saw him down there, you saw Akaadian heading out of the base to the top side. There was no intent for TSM to contest that dragon.
Third scuttle mark claimed. Rush has gotten all 4 scuttles this game. 3 of them have Kidnred marks on them. And what a good start for a Kidnred. 840 in, already 3 marks. That is far above the average.
It is Sunday, and Rush has had a very good luck on Sundays traditionally in the LCS.
6-1, I believe he said it himself this morning, and well, might be poised to go for a 3 here. Looking at a second plate dropping in this bottom lane, feeling pretty solid in this squad. Varus braum doing good stuff down here as the Kidnred gets back over the wall and is back on this side of the map. He's going to jump over. His entire jungle is up. Going to take as much as he can, but Akaadian, by seeing him go towards that ward earlier on, knows he can steal the blue. That is definitely a positive for the TSM side. Bjergsen will grab both blues this round.
Yeah, it's not really going to hurt Zoe that much, though, because of the Ocean Drake being grabbed for Rush so early on. That thing is not quite a blue buff, but is going to be applied very, very effectively to this matchup where there's not a lot of interaction. Zoe from a long range can go in for the clears. You don't have to get into combat with the Zilean. It's kind of hard for Bjergsen actually to knock that buff off. So Rush there, super, super well done by controlling bottom side, getting that early dragon. It's definitely going to provide a lot of power for the Zoe as well as the Varus here to scale up. Again, it is the on-hit Varus, as we were saying, but this composition still works much better when grouped up. You know, the ultimate coming through, snaring people in place, allowing for those combinations.
Yeah. One thing we talked about with TSM during the split was how TSM were pushing more and more towards learning early game compositions and trying to find ways to win lane, win game, that sort of stuff. This is not an early game lead for them right now, though. Of course, early Ocean Drake, a very big deal. Top and jungle both winning, bot lane up as well. And with this obvious split push of the Jax later on, trying to split up the squad, that's going to be a later game payoff as well. Now trying to contest that 10 minutes, going to find a lot of damage. Barrier and the flash used by Phoenix to get away. Damage onto Akaadian, 200 health left on him. We've got to watch out for the Zilean revive. That is Pop. Now he's pushed back down, but Apollo has the ult. Can he play around the jump? Not going to press the button. I'm going to let him walk away as the Herald was taken by Rush and simply a revive used.
Another objective here for Echo Fox. Really trying to make use of this early game pressure. Rush does finish up the Rift Herald. No extra cooldowns used. As you said, Apollo just holds on to his ultimate. They know they don't have the damage around to finish off that kill. And the communication once again between TSM as Bjergsen says, I've got you with the revive. Don't waste any summoner spells there, Akaadian. He already had used his flash. And they're able to pick him back up. Again, it is so defensive for an opening, right? The Merc treads first on Bjergsen to deal with the possible Sleepy Trouble bubbles coming in.
Look at this donation. It's actually going to be shared. No, Rush going to tag the turret, so he'll take part of this goal, but it should be 2 plates falling off. 160 apiece now on this. Broken Blade jumps right back out, but his dodge on cooldown, and they're going to get probably plate number 4 off this turret if they stick around. You got Jarvan and Zilean coming, though. This could easily be an outnumbered fight. They will give up that Herald, the 2 plates grabbed, out they go.
I think it's smart by Echo Fox to force more out of that and not just get the charge off and walk away with the money. Because if you can take down Jax's turret before he's able to spike, then it makes it so much more difficult for Broken Blade to get gold.
You got there. Sadly, plate number 4, no one was close enough, so that is money not gained there. Slightly left on the table. Looking for the fight is Phoenix. Nice bit of damage. Still takes the bomb on the backside. You can't really dodge those. It waits for you on the floor. But interesting that they are spending a lot of effort and a lot of time getting solo ahead here. There's been a little bit of pressure. Rush has come by a couple of times to push Broken Blade back, but this feels mostly done 1v1 as Solo is getting his lead here.
And I think even more so, it's trying to keep this Jax behind and delay the possibilities of that powerhouse coming through. Akaadian has spent a large portion of his time on the top side of the map, not necessarily always in lane with Broken Blade, but again, going for the invades on the top side jungle and whatnot, trying to apply some pressure there.
Nice arcane shift. With Rush waiting right over here. He's just in this brush, but there's no fight. Smoothie not going forward, nor is Zven. And they claim this brush. Aggressive control ward means he can sneak forward as they can try to push, but still no play to be had. Last I checked, every single member of Echo Fox was up in gold over their opposition. Might have changed over the last minute or so, but really across the board, you're seeing leads top, jungle, mid, and even across that bottom and support role. So all around this game, Echo Fox are slightly ahead. As a team, it's now 1,000 up. This Ocean Drake has already been taken. Cloud has spawned now.
Yeah, mostly, and again, mostly the biggest difference, the only kind of meaningful one here is in the top lane with Solo about to chunk down this turret as well. Ocean Drake really helping out this matchup, giving him that extra regeneration. And we'll see another visit from Akaadian. If you look at the mini-map, Bjergsen there confident because of the early Merc Treads buy that he's going to survive. But let's take a look at the top side. It's Russian-based bottom side again. Akaadian is top, and this turret's about to go down. Are they just trying to defend it, or is he actually going to go offensive? Broken Blade's already 60% health.
And look at that, 6 plates to 0. Definitely a large lead here as they've now pushed in towards his Cloud Drake. Rush on his 4th mark, plenty of damage there. Cloud Drake will be soloed.
And speaking of solo, he should be able to walk his way out of this one easily, as Echo Fox are happy to exchange sides of the map. Rush continuing to control bottom side here with the Kidnred, snowballing from very early on, and another quite useful dragon as top side is just a little bit of pressure. All it gets for TSM is a recall off.
And as that blue buff goes down, they do get their 2nd round. This is actually now twice in a row. Akaadian has managed to steal that one. He's been able to spend enough time over here that he's poaching this away from Zoe, giving it over to Bjergsen. That is nice. As you mentioned earlier, Ocean Drake helps you know, pay that off a little bit, but I mean, blue would be nice for the CDR. And now Akaadian waiting topside solo. No ult, only the flash. Smells it, has the control, but that's not going to see him just yet. Goes for the trade. Now Akaadian's coming. This could be tight. He cannot self-revive. Rush can come around, and they're not going to go for the play. They might have seen Rush in a ward. They ping it away.
Yeah.
No dive.
They did. They had a control ward here on the blue buff that sees Rush coming up. So TSM call off the possible dive there. And again, Solo still very, very confident here on the Aatrox. Nice lead for himself. Has finished the Black Cleaver. Pretty big item spike for him at level 11. Broken Blade trying to heal up off these honey fruit. But Rush claims them.
They can trap down into this one. They didn't have Rush come up. They could have maybe tried for a fight here on a Broken Blade. Instead, he's going to walk away. No stun going to land. Going to find that knockup. But they've got to be careful. Akaadian's there in the fog of war. After Broken Blade, here's a knockup. Again, no ult for Solo. He's got to play this around the Kidnred. And it's too late! Rush floats the ultimate. Doesn't save his teammate. And TSM grabs first blood. The flash knockup. How is that for playoff nerves? Akaadian grabs the 2nd kill.
Oh, that is a big mistake in timing from Rush on the Kidnred. Does not get the ult off in time for Solo. TSM use it even to heal up themselves, and then they chase him down. They punish him for his sin, and they will take the first turret of the game.
Akaadian's first ever playoff game and Broken Blade's first in North America is a 2-on-2, 2-for-0 plus first turret. We can watch that all again.
Oh my goodness. Solo does a good job in the 1v1, kiting out Broken Blade's stun. Then as soon as Akaadian arrives though, he knows he's super low. Rush trying to wait for the timing. He wanted to try and execute Broken Blade. You see those 2 stacks on Broken Blade? If he had gotten 1 more auto attack off, he wanted the execution damage, but it was a bit too greedy. He let Solo go down in the meantime, and that meant that TSM take the 2v2, and they turn this game around. Echo Fox had just been dominating with the 2 dragons stacked up, the bottom side control. TSM now, though, with a highlight towards their victory path here. The Jax is so incredibly important. Now he's got that Trinity Force, and Broken Blade is ready to go.
All right, well, last time Rush played Kidnred, he then left NA, went back to Korea. That's what was told to me by stats. I'm just reciting the information I was given.
Goodness.
Don't blame the messenger. Either way, he is back now.
Burn.
Stats burn. Thank you, Tom. Either way, though, of course, this game is still very close. Only 700 separates. We saw that 4-mark Kidnred. That is still a very big deal, honestly. And Rush is now looking at the bottom lane. With that control ward, he can sneak right in.
I mean, it's such a timing-intensive character, as is Zilean, but you can't be deterred by messing up one ultimate.
Yeah.
It's still very early in the game, and since they had such a good first, 10 minutes almost of the game, they're still in a very decent position. Nice little snipe there, though, as you were talking about in the brush.
Yeah.
Zven's able to find the Q onto Rush, sniff that gank out.
I do believe wards that die still have
Vision
kind of
for a while,
random lingering vision. The timing is not always the same number, and it looked like it actually did just see Rush. He walked in, and it was kind of a long one there, and a bit unlucky. Either way, Zven confirmed it and landed that one. Bot lane has just been a farm off, really. There's not been a lot going on down here. 0-0-0. last time TSM lost to Hakuho and Apollo in playoffs, it was because they were getting all these kills down here.
Yeah.
Not the case. They've gotten some gold. That's going to be demolished. Some extra damage. This turret's very close to dying. They'll indeed get it. So bot lane does get the turret in a more or less straight up 2-on-2. As Resh is finally going to get a blue buff steal of his own, gives it over to Fenix.
Phoenix finally gets to taste the blue buff here.
First of the game.
As every mid laner definitely highly prioritizes. What's the next dragon? Ocean Drake number 2 coming up. Not as important for Echo Fox, but very important to deny from TSM, considering they're the ones with the Zoe poke damage and whatnot. I think they'll still want to retain control over this area, so I don't know about this recall timing from Phoenix. See what TSM do with that. We've got about 25 seconds whenever you see a mid laner recall like that with tier 2 boots. About the time it takes to walk all the way back out, and they're moving in to take down the vision with that 25 seconds.
Okay, so control being fought over. They're going to claim that one. Zombie Ward gets pushed right back down as Solo clears the wave, but now they're onto the Ocean Drake. It's going to be a big deal for TSM versus this kind of poke. So now waiting around, you've got one waiting to brush. Smoothie, does he get the big play? Finds 2 taunts, goes in, looks for Rush, gets the ultimate down. Now the fight starts in 5v5, looks for the big stuns. Stopwatch comes in, Broken Blade is low, Solo can revive. He's going to find both revives here, but already Jarvan is dead. 1-0 in favor of Echo Fox. They push back TSM. He's sleeping. A double kill. Zoe finds them both. Phoenix makes that fight work, and that Drake is going to go to Echo Fox.
TSM group up and try to start the dragon, but Echo Fox chase them.
Phoenix flashes for number 3. Good cleanse. He might land it. Forces the flash away from Zven. That was big. Phoenix does so much heavy lifting.
And wasn't it Zoe? During this split, 2019 in spring, Phoenix had so many outstanding Zoe games for Echo Fox. He finds so much more than just a dragon for them this time around. By delaying and chasing off Zven, it opens up the easy Baron pickup here for Echo Fox.
Wow, the double ocean keeps them topped off to make sure Baron's not lethal. Ruin King done on Apollo, created plenty of damage as well, and look at that! At 20-20-47, it's ordered to pick up onto Baron, and Echo Fox are sizably ahead.
May have had one mistake on the top side, but they completely make up for it here. Phoenix is able to land, let's see, an initial bubble here onto Broken Blade. Doesn't come up too much, but the initiation, yes, there are the 2 revives, and Akaadian barely did get onto the Kidnred ultimate, but there's nothing to save him and Broken Blade as 2 members of TSM were both under threat, and they only have 1 Zilean ult to go after. Phoenix landing that over the wall. I didn't see, did it land there earlier and was waiting on the ground, or did he hit it over the wall for the second one?
I didn't see the setup, but he knew it hit, of course.
This one's definitely
That's a
right
QSS
on target
flash.
onto Zven, is going to be able to get the QSS, does get the flash, plus it delayed both of their recalls. Nobody from TSM was able to go back and heal after that, so that allows Echo Fox this Baron at only 21.5 minutes into the game.
Really huge. Let's see what they get out of this one. Only 1 turret's been dropped. So there is so much gold waiting to be claimed to push Echo Fox ahead. You heard Crumbs talk about this. His prediction was a 3-2 victory for TSM. Said there's so many viable comps, so many good champions. You can't practice against all of it. I wonder how many TSM scrims have faced a 20-minute Baron. This is going to probably open up a lot here.
Well, they're making a play on the bottom side right now. They're still trying to play to the Jax. You see the 2 members going after that Aatrox. He's just going to walk away, though, as Echo Fox are pushing with Baron. They get pressure in mid lane. Phoenix and Rush on top side, going to finish up that turret very quickly and look for number 2.
Okay, here we go. Outer turret gone. Tier 2 going to fall as well. And that bot lane push not going to do anything on the TSM side. As you pull it up, that's going to be a quick recall out of the Jarvan. And it's just Jax taking some CS. So 2 turrets so far, the tax of this Baron buff. More to gain in the next minute and a half. Mid lane outer going to fall as well. And look at this gold lead already above 5,000. It's going to keep growing. Control ward there. Smoothie, he can look for Rush here. He's going to find the taunt. He's going to find the knockup. And they're going to just delete the poor Kidnred. Back to death it goes. 3-2 TSM in kills, but the gold, a long way to go.
Once again, TSM bind Rush. They're able to combo him. No time for the ultimate to come out there. Nice CC chaining. And that is going to put a little bit of a delay here on the Baron buff, but not enough. You can see, even with that kill, Echo Fox pushing, and they will get another turret.
How aggressive they've been, despite getting the kill. 4 turrets picked up in the first 2/3 of the Baron buff. Still a minute left to reset, spend the money, and then push again with that 5,000 gold lead. Huge swing off that fight. 2 kills, and they got just everything.
What an impactful champion Zoe has been so far playoffs. We saw yesterday, Belter absolutely dominating for FlyQuest. This one around the Dragon fight, Fenix able to create so much pressure and find those necessary kills to open up this game, get the Baron here.
Yep.
A lot of big players on Echo Fox. A lot of eyes have been on Rush since he did so poorly at the beginning and had to take some time in Academy to come back, came back stronger.
Yep.
Did have a very good early game, but there have been other players on this team that have been able to carry the torch in the meantime.
Yeah, Fenix has definitely been, it's weirdly an unsung hero. I feel like he never quite gets all the credit he deserves. And managed to smite that one away. Rush grabs another one. That's mark number 6, I believe.
Oh my
One
goodness.
away from even more range. Just hard scaling on this Kidnred.
Actually insane. 0-2 Kidnred, 6 marks. Feels good.
Feels like my average Kidnred games. The 0-2, absolutely normal. The marks, hit and miss. Either way, 5,000 gold was what was gained off of those 2 kills Fenix picked up. And now we're back at this game state where the Infernal Drake spawns in 30 seconds. You have to imagine TSM can't even fathom contesting that with the gold lead they're facing.
Yeah, they're just committing to the Jax though. That's their only, way out of this. They again have Akaadian over by Broken Blade, trying to help out the split pushing. Broken Blade trying to work on a Spear of Sojin for himself to try and transform the champion, and you do kind of unlock so many different options once you do get that for possible all-ins, but Solo's just so far ahead, it might be too late to go for it. He already has the Death Dance for the extra regen, and
it looks like Yomu's is next up. There's another double longsword. I'm kind of guessing that's kind of the next part of that build. So April picked up. There's of course even more stats for the 1v1. It was already 900 gold apart before, and it's going to be a little bit worse now as Echo Fox keep checking all the boxes.
Echo Fox. I mean, quite jokingly, we had that very famous now interview from Zazel where he called them Titan Killers for their last 4 victories in Spring Split of the LCS, taking down Cloud9, taking down Team Liquid, but opening up the playoffs here with a very strong game as well.
Apollo is alone, has to flash away. He will get away, but that's ult down. 2 ults down, but the flash burn is maybe a more important summoner based on the timings though. Baron's up in a minute, and looks like TSM will probably miss those ultimates for that climactic Baron fight.
All right, let's see. Echo Fox here can retreat, trying to clear the waves at their turrets, but TSM keep on pushing.
All right, moment of truth. The next 40 seconds is vision control for Baron. I feel like if Echo Fox get it, they probably just outright win the game with that push. TSM can delay and keep scaling and find that split push. They can finally maybe weasel the way back in. That's what we got to watch for right now. Vision right now does belong to TSM. And again, a flashless Varus is an easy target. You've seen Rush picked off as well in these fights.
Definitely true. So when you have that on your team, you should be thinking, hey, Rush, I might need a Kidnred ultimate here. I have no flash. Yes, I have cleanse, try and get out, but keep your eyes on me. A lot of times in player comms, we'll hear players saying, watch me, eyes on me. That's for looking out for the key players on each side. That would be engagement on your enemies and your carries on your allies.
You gotta be careful. We all know eyes on is a curse for playoffs, so be careful when and where you say it. Thankfully, the drive is not a curse, and Centauran did indeed win yesterday. But now it's Echo Fox's turn to go back in. TSM reset as the Baron spawned, and in swoops Echo Fox with Scuttle dead. They can't sneak anything. Look to the mark, not going to be there. Almost actually face checks Akaadian. That could have been dangerous. He was not near his team.
Yeah, the danger you bring up, I think is pretty interesting because Echo Fox, they have such a substantial lead, but not quite a vision blanket like you're used to seeing with a lead like this. So I think they probably should be a bit more cautious when moving in, try and group up for their vision. TSM doing a good job once again, bottom side.
Stun, a lot of damage. He can ult to stay alive, but he's going to probably re-dove. They've still got Zilean ult for this as well. Broken Blade right underneath them, and don't even need it. 2-for-1 to the bot lane. The side lane is working.
Baron is up. Let's see what Echo Fox do with it. They're forcing on the 4 members.
Mind you, Broken Blade can TP, and he presses that now. Bjergsen can do the same. Ezreal to find some vision, find some damage, and out they go. Turret's going to fall. It's only the one teleport. They keep Jax down, and Echo Fox can't do a thing. The kill is picked up, 150 gold bounty, and TSM are clawing their way back in through the side lane.
TSM, they've invested so much in this Jax, and they are not gonna sell until it hits rock bottom. Broken Blade finds the kill, finds the tower gold, and TSM still with light at the end of the tunnel. Can they hold off Echo Fox in this onslaught that they've laid down in game number 1, though?
With that shutdown and the solo turret, the gold is actually in Broken Blade's favor in the 1v1. That's a huge break point to consider as he scales up over time. Maybe he can start winning that one-on-one without the assistance of Bjergsen. Maybe he brings it in again.
Again, if Echo Fox prioritize the vision around this Baron, they have Zoe, they have Varus, they have Braum. Very good at picking off TSM members venturing into the fog of war. And that should be what they try and use to their advantage. TSM grouped up as 5, though.
Wow. Ezreal burned just to get vision over the Baron right there, so that is a combat spell down, and it means that, yes, TSM are nervous around their lack of vision in that pit. Next Drake spawns in a minute. That's easily soloable by anyone who wants to go for it at this point in time. Broken Blade, though, back to this bottom lane. Still, both top laners have teleport, and Echo Fox want him to burn that now.
All right, they're starting it up. Zilean trying to get a bomb in there. See Baron health, 8,000, nothing to worry about yet, but they have to get around.
They're not pulling Jax, he's not TP'd, he's not running across. They're going for the
it's gonna
and
be
he's away from Bjergsen. He's gonna have to flash to the wall to stay alive, but now look at the health bars.
Wait,
the Baron is so low. Rush over the wall, he's trying to zone out Akaadian. Down to 1,000, easy smite picked up. 2 Barons in a row as Jax stays in the bottom lane and TSM are zoned out.
Good hard force there by Echo Fox. They're able to get that Baron away. And TSM Broken Blade could probably finish this up. Baron and Powered Recalls get them back very quickly, though.
Yeah, it presses E just to get the extra 24 proc, jumps away, will pick that one up. It roughly halves the gold gain that the Baron itself picked up, but there's all this time now, 3 minutes of Baron buff. Last one got 4 turrets for Echo Fox. This one could be an inhibitor.
And there is another Infernal Drake on the way for Echo Fox to pick up. So much power in these elemental drakes they've been able to control. TSM are actually heading out. They don't have Broken Blade, but they're looking like they might actually threaten this dragon even.
Fighting against a 5k deficit plus the Baron buff. Akaadian found out, finds a knockup, goes for the dunk, but Kidnred gets the ult down in time. Oh, and walks out of it! Rush kills himself, and in goes Broken Blade. 1 kill back by Solo. Now it's on towards Apollo. He's running, but he can't get away from Jax. The backline access only gets a Zilean ult down. Hakuho gone as well. A 2nd kill now for Solo. He's gonna do it all by himself, but he's gonna drop down as well. Over the wall goes Broken Blade. A flash for Phoenix to chase down, and TSM get the ace.
Oh my God, Rush! Rush jumps out of his own ultimate, burns down, and TSM destroy the team fight there.
5-2 in kills, and goodbye Baron power play. It's all for TSM to push it through. Still 30 seconds on the Zoe respawn. They'll at least get mid lane tier 2. Jax already in the bot side. As they clear the waves, TSM are right back in it.
Akaadian was on a mission. He runs straight past Solo, beeline for Rush here. Watch this. He's able to get around the backside. Zven landed a critical Mystic shot to slow down Rush too. Akaadian gets the full combo, almost even 100% him before the ult. But then Rush, oh man, that was just on the edge there. Outside, does go down. And then even after that, Broken Blade and Smoothie really deserve the credit finding that collapse onto the Varus. You pointed it out, no flash, gonna be so hard for Apollo to get away. He can't do it. The Jax finally brings to power the lamppost, finishes up the kill on the back line, and with both of those carries down, there's nothing that Echo Fox can do to salvage that team fight.
Feels like the one salvage mission is Solo, who is still working well on the back line. Forces Zilean ult, still gets a couple of kills, but the rest of that team couldn't put in the work. Still a lot of attack damage on that Aatrox. TSM picking up that Infernal Drake, putting the goal back within 2,000. You feel like it can be theirs. They can definitely win this one here as the wave is clear. Echo Fox still feel like they want to push. They're going to use that poke to their advantage. Look at that mid lane. Try to find a slow towards Zven. Block the shots. Knock down this turret. Akaadian in the wings. Has a Guardian Angel. He can dive for sure.
All right, TSM coming into the split push, though. You can see Zilean and Jax working their ways down side lanes here, up to the turret already, trying to dissuade Echo Fox from grouping as 5. As he said in Champ Select, this is going to be the path to victory for these 2 sets of champions. Echo Fox trying to use their synergies, but TSM completely committed there to the 3-pronged attack.
Broken Blade up to 4, 1, and 3. Put behind in the early game, but he has been one of the major levers of victory here. As he's got a good scoreline and has been winning a lot of these fights. Frozen Mallet and QSS in as well. He is very tanky and very deadly. Now, once again, the reset. Infernal for each side. Next Drake is Elder, and it's going to be a gigantic stack to the Echo Fox side. That would be a huge buff for them. Only mediocre in the TSM one. Baron spawns in 2, the Dragon not too far behind it.
Rushes up to 10 stacks on the Kidnred, by the way. Still just stacking away like a monster. This champion does scale very effectively into the late game. He's got a USS for himself and almost to the level 16.
That's a slow. That's decent damage. Gonna get away from Jarvan. Here comes the ult down. Easy to walk away from that one, though, and that's damage. And a major team fight ultimate down because of Russia's range.
Bottom side.
Now on the bottom side, they find the 3v1. Broken Blade's not gonna find his way out of this one. The kill gold goes over to Apollo. Varus is gonna power spike up.
Echo Fox have finally turned their eyes towards the solo laner there. They take down Broken Blade, and that is going to take all the power out of the TSM split push, so they have to retreat. Once you lose one part of the fork, you have to pull back.
Yeah. A fork without its tongs is kind of a bad spoon. It's not really useful for much of anything.
All right, let's take another look here. Solo's going to be the one to start it off there as he gets the slow plus the knockup from first Q. Apollo and Hakuho making their way down, speedy as ever with the Cloud Drake. They close the distance, and they 3v1. Not a lot to go into it here. They even had the exhaust down there for good measure in the 3v1, taking out Broken Blade as quickly as possible.
Yep. Now, of course, as we come back into this one, you can see those buffs only 20 seconds apart right here. Broken Blade will revive in time to fight for the buffs, but not to fight for vision. Echo Fox, they don't actually check that brush to kill the control ward. Phoenix needs to go walk into there and get rid of this. This is a mark for Rush right here if he can get it. Grabs it. That's another mark onto him. So that's now, looks like 8 on Kidnred, unless I'm misreading that number. Looks like it's pretty solid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the 10 on the wolf buff. That's 100% for the heal on hit.
Close. 8 is a big point as well.
8 is big. 7 is that next break point regardless. So a pretty big deal here. Looking now at the mid lane clear. Still going to walk back. As long as the wave is gone, TSM can't push down mid. That cannon is actually crucial. Red buff should do it. Okay, so Echo Fox can stay river.
All right.
Control's still alive. They need to get rid of that.
Again, with 2 epic
Apollo,
objectives.
Please. Solo, please.
Okay.
I'm sorry, this was really important they get rid of that. But here comes the play. Broken Blade over the wall. He can look for the stun on a rush. He's getting out of range. Now into the fog of war is Echo Fox. Looks for the play on Zven. Good arcane shift gets him out. Now Akaadian goes in for the dive. Gets the ult, but there's no Galio just yet. He loses the Guardian Angel. The stun of the backline, he flashes in. Can't get the kill just yet. Stopwatch burn. Now look at Akaadian. Look at the backline. Zven chased by a Solo. Solo gets one. Looks for Akaadian. They find the second. They've completely crushed the backline. And now look at the re-engage. Now the blue team health bar's getting low. Smoothie gonna drop to Apollo. They're finding these kills. They're not just dropping. They're killing so much of TSM. Broken Blade. He's gonna drop as well. And now the chase down. Bjergsen cannot get away from Rush. 2 more autos. He's gonna find it. The ace for Echo Fox!
That is going to be an Echo Fox victory in game number 1. TSM did not have Galio ultimate when they started that fight.
That was a huge cooldown, and now they go in for the turrets. You think they must have enough time for this one. I think they do. 20 seconds on Ezreal, and they've got a fully stacked wave, a 37-minute victory. Echo Fox came into the playoffs, beating Team Liquid, beating Cloud9, and in this best of 5, they are also beating TSM. Who can stop Echo Fox? We've got more games to see, but game 1 goes to the underdogs.
Ooh. What an opener here.
Yeah.
Echo Fox with some early game domination, but TSM get right back in it, sticking with that split push. They committed to it. They had Akaadian down there most of the time. They sent Bjergsen down there, and Jax finally got that power. They won a team fight at the Dragon, but engaging that last team fight, I was looking at the cooldown on Smoothie's ultimate.
Yeah.
He still had another 15 to 20 seconds left on it, and they hard forced in the 5-on-5. That's such a critical part, controlling that much area.
Yep. And meanwhile, you had, I think it was Phoenix and Solo hard dove the back line. They took down Zven. He couldn't kite through both of them, and that was a separated fight where those two did all the work, got rid of all the damage output, and then once it recollapsed, you had the braum stuns coming through. You had everyone else able to stay alive. I think they lost 1 or maybe 0 members in that last team fight. Apollo died, but that was it. And the 4 walked through the ace down the base.
An ace that late in the game is going to be game over.
Yep, 37 minutes, 6 seconds when it all ended up. Let's send it down to the state from Analyst Us for more on how Echo Fox took game 1.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. In a series that was expected to go to TSM, Echo Fox makes a statement in Game 1, taking the victory over our number 3 seed. They do it in pretty incredible fashion there right at the end.
If it wasn't for minor mechanical plays, this would have been a clean win for Echo Fox.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely started out that way, and I do want to take a look at, how it developed, that lead, that early game developed for Echo Fox. Of course, it wasn't without mistakes. Here on the top side, the 2-for-0 in favor of TSM.
Yeah, it's just a big mistake by Rush, not being able to drop his ult fast enough. He gets popped, and after that, this was a good 2v2 by TSM. They had basically 3 losing lanes and were about 1,000 gold behind, but they finally get Broken Blade ahead. Something that they had been trying to do all split long, and especially in the back half, were really good at it. So after that 2-for-0, they set Jax up to be kind of the main focal point for how their team comp wants to play.
Wanted to play around that Jax entirely. Of course, it came down to the team fights, though, in determining the game. So this one taking place 21 minutes in near the Dragon.
Yeah, we looked at this team fight quite a bit. We're deciding how should they have played it, but in the end, the Zhonya's from Akaadian buy some time, but Solo still has his World Ender, so he's able to just zone off the rest of TSM while the tanks have died in the front line already, and then it's just complete cleanup out of Fenix, who had a ridiculous game on Zoe. He was just doing so much work, inspired by Pobelter.
Right, in this team fight, he landed so many clutch bubbles. He shot a 3 and hit all 3 bubbles, and they were like game-changing ones for that fight specifically.
Mark, it was some number of weeks ago when you were praising Fenix for his Zoe play and the fact that at the time he was the only player in the LCS who was being given this champion, and making the case that you should not give this champion to Fenix anymore. You have to stop.
It's one of his best champions. You pick what's clearly a 4-1 split push with the revive, and so the enemy team takes Varus, Zoe. It was like a dream comp to play into for Zoe and for Varus.
Yeah, so that was a 2-0 in favor of Echo Fox, but the action did not stop there. We're going to jump ahead to a TSM ace at the Dragon, this one coming 30 minutes into the game.
Right, and this one you just gotta keep your eyes on to Broken Blade. Look at the amount of work he does this fight. A bit, excuse a Rush, intentionally.
He had some oopsies this game.
Thing right there, and then you just watch Broken Blade just destroy everyone in this fight. And it's just the story of top laners. Solo's on the other end, soloing the backliners of TSM, but they get revived, so then Fox doesn't get revived here.
It really did kind of feel like both top laners were putting on a star performance. Solo and Broken Blade both times diving backlines and killing backline members, and eventually was who was going to deal with the other team's top laner better.
And you have a Kidnred, so you're probably going to win that every single time because you keep people alive. So even though Rush gets to make a few mistakes, the fact that you have that ultimate, as long as you pop it in a team fight, you've done your job as Kidnred.
It was all about the top laners for who was going to carry. Of course, the final fight comes off of an aggressive playoff from Akaadian. He thinks he's found the moment for TSM to engage and take the win. He will be proven wrong in that.
I don't know what he was thinking. Maybe they thought they had Galio ult here, but it was still down for a little bit of time. So there's no Galio ult coming in over the top of this team fight, which is exactly the kind of chaos you want to create on a backline that allows Jax to run wild.
Solo.
Doesn't happen. Instead, Solo gets this easy kill onto Zven, wins the fight, and then the rest of the team is doing a great job healing Broken Blade with the help of that Kidnred ultimate. And that was just a really close fight where if they had the Galio ultimate, if they were a little cleaner about getting a kill on the backline, maybe it could have worked for TSM, but it was a great play.
And the braum is so good in these moments. When you are up against melees that don't have Merc treads like the Jax that went Ninja Tabis, in a fight, all it takes is hit him with an auto. He's going to get stunned. It's going to be a very easy way to peel against these divers. So that support did a much better job when they came to dealing with the top laner than the Galio that's all about the hard engage. The engage gets bopped, you're no longer useful.
Hi, I want you to talk to me about Solo, because at the top of the day, you were mentioning that Solo could quite possibly be a tier higher than Broken Blade when it comes to the way these guys match up. And to Crumbs' point, he said if not for a few mechanical mistakes, a few oopsies by Rush, that matchup would have been even more in favor of Solo. So looking ahead into this series, I want you to break down this matchup for me. How concerned should TSM now be about that top lane matchup?
Well, if you look at that game, it's pretty close between both top laners, right? There's a fight where Aatrox is hard carrying the fight, and then Jax is hard carrying a fight, and then back to Aatrox. I think something more important to possibly look at is the difference between Rush and Akaadian. Despite Rush playing or doing some dumb things, it looked like he had so much more impact on the map than Akaadian did, and he wasn't doing like a hard engage that would like make his team go under. And like it's clear to me that Akaadian is a rookie in this matchup. When he's picking the Jarvan, has no pressure, loses all objectives, and despite Rush doing dumb things, it looks like he's doing much more than Akaadian.
There was a lot of good behind that, before those bad moments.
You got dragons, you got heroes, you push for the Baron, and your ultimate's still relevant in the fights. It's a little bit easier to actually execute in fights with the Kidnred if you're not doing too well than the Jarvan. Jarvan, you have to always be on point. A bad Jarvan ult can hurt your team.
Right.
Mark, do you expect this series to rely on the top lane matchup or rather be determined by the top lane matchup going forward?
Yeah, I think that's how TSM has played all season long, and it'd be very shocking in a 5-game series to suddenly throw out what you've been building towards your entire split. So I think they should stick with this. I think there's a couple things they could do a little bit better.
So then what are the opinions then on the strategies employed by both teams coming into this first game of a best of 5?
So I love what TSM does picking Zilean. Bjergsen is 14-3 all time. That's 82% win rate on him. I mean, amazing, really.
Right.
But by taking it so early, you telegraph that you're going to go with a hyper carry top lane. The meta favors it right now, so it's super obvious what you're going for. You're against Broken Blade. Akali's banned. Ryze is not there. What are you going to go? Probably the Jack. So it makes it very easy for Echo Fox to figure out what the draft is going to be. I would have liked to see the picks be a little bit in different order. Maybe save the Zilean for a later rotation, take the Ezreal a little bit sooner, and then you make a little bit more sense when it comes to not making it so easy for Echo Fox to say that's what they're going to go for.
I kind of actually want TSM to switch the junglers around. I think if Akaadian's on the Kidnred, that'd be much better, and just give the Jarvan to Rush. I think if they took the Zilean to counterpick the Kidnred, because they don't want to play versus Kidnred Zilean, right? But I think that's forcing them onto a comp that's not as ideal. Zilean on his own isn't as strong. It's just with the combo of Kidnred and Zilean, because you need the extra damage from your jungler to make Zilean even stronger. And I don't think it's worthwhile to take that pick away. And to Mark's point earlier, Zoe is like one of Phoenix's best champions, and they spent 4 out of 5 of their bans on mid lane champions, and you left up the one that he's the best at. So maybe switch up the bans a bit.
Well, Reginald making his appearance with the team along
Coach
with
Reggie.
I was going to say, and Coach Six. We saw him there making notes on the notepad there, talking through strategies that they might employ here for game 2.
But behind, there's Grig right there. He's
Yep.
playing in the academy. Is it, maybe if Akaadian's struggling with playoffs, you can bring in Grig and see if you change things up.
We'll have to see. Now, ahead of this weekend's game, the LCS broadcast crew launched a full-blown investigation to find out why there was so much fur left on every inch of the set. We'll be airing the tapes left behind from what can only be described as a tale as old as time, battled out on Summoner's Rift. That footage goes live after this series today. Oh, so
Cats
now,
versus dogs.
that would have been a good time to